Hey everyone, Corey Robinson here. Just wanted to check in with all of you. It's been a crazy week. It's felt like months. We're on March 21st, 2020, kind of the front end of this coronavirus pandemic that's starting to hit the States. We've seen it do some pretty ugly things abroad, China, Italy, other parts of the world. It's pretty nasty out there. So I've been getting a ton of phone calls and texts and people checking in on the real estate market. So I want to touch on that and also just reach out to you to let you know that I'm here for you. And I'm sending my love out to those that are impacted, those who are getting sick, who have loved ones getting sick, our healthcare workers, our grocers, our garbage men, people that are kind of on the front lines out there while we're at home. It makes staying at home seem pretty easy at this point. So I just got a text this morning from my stepmom who's working in labor and delivery as a nurse in Colorado, and they got their first COVID-19 patient today in the ICU, and then a second patient trickled in shortly thereafter. And so it's getting very real when you read about Italy and how their healthcare system's been overrun. It's scary to think about what may be on the horizon for her if we're not careful here. And I'm hoping and praying that's not the case, but it's super important everyone stay home, everyone cooperate with this shelter in place. If 9 out of 10 people stay home and there's that one person running around, it's very counterproductive. It's like that kid in kindergarten, right, that misbehaves and then the whole class misses recess. So don't be that kid. Stay home, take this seriously, wash your hands, keep your distance. Still okay, you get outdoors and enjoy the outdoors, go on hikes, just keep your distance from other individuals. I'm hearing a lot about people hanging out on play dates and hanging out with their neighbors, and that's all fine and dandy and great, but not right now. Just give it a little bit here. Our brokerage is strict about no person-to-person sales and no in-person showings. The real estate market is kind of taking a pause right now. Things that are in contract are moving along. And I guess my recent experience just in our local market here in the North Bay is, the current escrows working with buyers are still moving, based on the buyer comfort level. And the challenge is timelines. We were in a situation where we were super busy before all this hit. Lenders were overwhelmed with the crazy low interest rates. Title companies were overwhelmed for the same reason. A ton of refis. And then this hits and everyone's working from home, and it just complicates things that much further. So we're all doing our best, and the real estate community is doing a great job adapting. We've come up with a couple new addendums since this has all happened. So our brokerage came out with a COVID-19 addendum. The California Association of Realtors came out with an addendum. And that's just adding a layer of protection for both buyers and sellers that, they have an out if something happens that's outside of their control as a result of this coronavirus. So we're rolling with the punches. And then kind of on a larger scale, I am educating myself every day with the economy and how it relates to the housing market. Listened to a really good podcast yesterday with an interview with Dr. Lawrence Yoon, who's the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. And he had some good insights. He kind of echoed a lot of what I'm hearing, which is that it's still a pretty healthy market despite what's going on in the stock market. And I think housing actually looks a lot more attractive than the stock market at this point based on the volatility there. So there's still a shortage of supply. There's still more buyers than sellers, and we're looking at historically low interest rates that are expected to get even lower throughout the year. And so those facts point to, once we get to the other side of this thing, it seems like the real estate market will turn right back on, right where it left off. And it's interesting times for sure. So I'm telling buyers, if they're comfortable with their current employment situation, with their current finances, there's great opportunity. But if either of those things don't add up and everyone has a different risk tolerance, certainly not forcing it. And it's understandable if folks are wanting to cancel a contract at this point, given the uncertainty going on out there in the world. Sellers are taking it, a little bit differently depending on their circumstance. I have some clients that have been on the market for a while. They're leaving it on the market. getting that extra exposure. Other newer listings who are pulling their properties off temporarily, so we're not accumulating days on the MLS while the property can't be shown. We're also working closely with our local MLS to figure out what they can do to help, and there's talk of pausing days on market during this shelter-in-place ordinance. And even if they're unable to do so, you know, I think a savvy buyer will understand if there's days on market through this pandemic, there's a good reason why things aren't selling. So we're all working through it, kind of rolling with the punches. But yeah, personally, I'm taking this time to get organized, both in my workplace and at home, spend time with my kiddos, my wife, you know, try to get some exercise and do some projects around the house that have been on my to-do list for years. You know, clean out my closet, stay active. And then I'm also here for you whenever you need me, 7 days a week as per usual. So feel free to call me anytime. My number is 415-758-0255. And again, we're in this together. Don't hesitate to reach out. I know some folks are going to be going through a really tough time right now, but final message is this too shall pass. So hang in there, take care, and reach out if I can do anything to help you out. Thanks.